A stunning development in the murder of a prison administrator, Debra Johnson. News 4 Investigates has obtained documentation of a plea deal that claims DNA at the scene does not match that of Curtis Watson, the man charged in her rape and murder. Our chief investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley, has been working on this story for weeks now. Jeremy, what does this mean now for the case?
Well, Tom, that really remains to be seen. In a probable cause hearing last year, a TBI agent testified that DNA evidence on the victim's body and on her cell phone was consistent with Watson, that it did not exclude him. That basically means that it could not rule him out for being connected to that crime. But letters sent to Watson from the public defender's office now claim that the DNA found at the victim's house does not match his, and that a plea deal has been offered in exchange for death penalty, life in prison without parole. They're letters and documents not intended to be made public, but Watson writes to News 4 Investigates he wants this to surface. He sent News 4 Investigates copies of letters with the heading of his public defender, all in the same font, writing of a plea deal offer based on DNA evidence at the home of Debra Johnson. News 4 Investigates confirmed with another source close to the case that the offer has been made. The letters come 8 months after Watson was on the run for days last August, after escaping from West Tennessee State Penitentiary. Prosecutors say Watson also raped and murdered Debra Johnson, a prison administrator who lived in a home on the grounds, a longtime beloved prison employee described by her family as impacting thousands of lives.
It's hard to know that she was murdered in the capacity that she was.
In the letters with the public defender's header, Watson is told, quote, "It appears that there was sperm on a quilt that was analyzed, and it definitely was not attributed to you, and is characterized as from an unknown male. There was no sperm inside the deceased." The bottom line here is that if we went to trial, we would have some arguments and science on our side at this point. The letters advise Watson to take the offer, essentially life without parole. Watson writes to News 4 Investigates, quote, "I did some wrong that day of August 7th pertaining to the escape, but, quote, I did not do that to Ms. Johnson. Of course, even with the DNA finding, no one still will believe me." Debra Jones' daughter tells News 4 Investigates, quote, "Every claim will be addressed at the trial. We remain in close contact with the DA's office and will receive additional information in upcoming weeks." Now, I did speak to the district attorney and the public defender in this case. Neither could comment because of the pending case. But the DA did stress again what happened at that hearing last year, that the agent testified that DNA could not rule out Watson for being connected to that crime. We will see what happens.